done. This weekend, one model claimed she'd been dropped from a London Fashion Week show because she was black. In a moment, we'll speak to a disabled model, a Muslim model, a 60-year-old model, and a curvy model. But first, here's everything you need to know about London Fashion Week, which is underway at the moment. London Fashion Week takes place twice a year, once in February and again in September. Over 5 days, hundreds of models appear on catwalks across London to showcase the work of more than 100 designers, and they're watched by 5,000 fashion-conscious visitors. Behind the scenes, the UK's fashion industry is huge business. It employs nearly 1 million people and accounts for 1.5% of the money made in the UK, our GDP. It contributes £28 billion directly to our economy. That's more than our legal services and broadcasting industries. The sector, though, brings with it a fair amount of criticism. Designers are often criticised for choosing underweight or underage models to show off their clothes, and for discriminating against models of a certain race or those with disabilities. But could this be the most diverse fashion week to date? Earlier this month, some fashion houses made a commitment to use only models that are a UK size 6 or bigger. And there's been a deliberate move by others to take on more models of different shapes, sizes, ages, ethnicities, and disabilities. However, critics claim it's not happening fast enough and have accused the industry of making token gestures. And over the weekend, model Naomi Anderson claimed on Twitter she was dropped from a fashion show because she's black. Right, let me introduce you to Kelly Knox, who was one of the first disabled models to work at London Fashion Week, to Salima Bukayo, who's making her London Fashion Week debut this evening, to Alex Bruni, who is modelling at the age of 60, and Naomi Nicholas Williams, who is a curvy model, which you prefer that term compared as opposed to plus size. Yeah, okay. Welcome all of you. Thank you very much. Okay, tell me what you think about the efforts of the fashion industry to be more representative on the catwalk.
I believe that we have moved and we have gone in a better direction, but I still think that there's more that can be done in regards to women of colour, black women, Asian women, Chinese women, of all different body shapes and sizes on the catwalk, as plus size brands have sizes that range from a 14 to a 26 or a 32, yet they stop at a size 20, and women don't stop at a size 20. So I believe that it should be pushed, the boundary should be pushed, and more women should be represented, and fairly as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I just believe that women and men who are already marginalised in society don't need to be further marginalised in Fashion Week, in the fashion industry. I mean,
who specifically is being marginalised? I mean, what do you think? Is it older women? Is it black women? Be specific.
I think it's black women. I think it's older women. I think it's women with disabilities.
Transgender women and men, gay people, just literally people in society.
That don't fit
the look
or societal norms or people would consider to be normal, which is bizarre. But yeah.
So it's not just about, when you say they don't fit the look, we're not just talking about perfect specimens, are we? You're talking about the colour of their skin.
Yeah, just normal everyday people are being turned down because they don't have this look, which is weird because the fashion industry is targeted towards consumers and clients and customers, and these are normal people.
What do you say, Alex?
I would say, yes, that's certainly the case when you think about all the women and all the models. I mean, I've been modelling for some years, but it's only this year that I was asked to participate in one of the London Fashion Week shows, the one by Johanna Hines on Friday.
Excuse me for interrupting, but Alex, were you the only older model?
I was the only older model in that show, yes. Okay. It's kind of baby steps, if you like, but it's not enough. I mean, the agency that represents me, Grey Model Agency, does not really get that many requests for older models to be involved in fashion shows. And that is very telling, I think, because you can have older models in commercials, sort of advertising things like insurance or, stair lifts, but when
not
it comes
clothes.
to fashion,
not clothes. God forbid, because older women don't wear clothes.
They walk around naked.
Kelly, what about you? Do you feel like you are breaking down barriers in the fashion industry?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I started modelling like 9 years ago, there definitely wasn't any models like me out there working in the industry. And you know, to be modelling 9 years and never to be asked to walk in London Fashion Week, it's quite shocking. So now is the time, I feel, for disabled models to stand in their power and say, this is who I am. I am beautiful, I am fashionable, I am worthy, I am able, and I deserve to be represented, because we all, as women, all of us deserve to be represented, no matter what our age is, our colour, ethnicity, you know, shape, size, ability, gender choice. Whatever, we all deserve to be out there, be represented. Like for the Purple Pound, for example, it's the spending power of disabled people, and it's £282 billion a year that the UK High Street are missing out on because they're not marketing to disabled people. Yeah. So it makes complete perfect business sense to market for disabled people.
Do you regard that as discrimination, the fact that you have not been asked to model at London Fashion Week?
Yeah, because they're saying, because you know, I have an impairment, I am not beautiful.
Someone actually said that or expressed that?
No, that's what it comes across as.
That's what you feel is going on?
Yeah, because like with you know, Instagram and the way society is, it's like you have to aspire to perfection, and if you have a disability, you're not seen as perfect because this is my imperfection.
Right. Now, you mentioned Instagram. Clearly, there are a lot of perfect, you know, images of men and women on Instagram. Yeah. There are also loads of images of women who don't fit that conventional shape that you might see on a catwalk.
It's because they're personalised account. These are people who are at home, normal people who are just going on their phone, starting up Instagram accounts and are putting their photos out there. I mean, it should be reflected in the modelling industry. Like you said, we all wear clothes, we all need clothes, and at the end of the day, as customers, we need to see that in the modelling industry.
Have you had examples of discrimination? Sorry, I'll come back to you, Alex, in a second.
No, I've actually just been signed with BAME. And BAME itself is a very diverse company. I love BAME. So in my 2 weeks, I haven't personally experienced discrimination yet. In fact, I've actually had loads of people actually say like they like my curly hair and stuff like that, and they can actually work with it in photos and stuff like that. But
why would curly hair sometimes be a problem? Or?
Maybe, but for them, I think it's a chance.
Really?
It's a chance to push people with different hair textures.
What about yourself?
It can
in terms of discrimination.
I have short hair. My hair's natural. It's blonde. And I choose to have short hair because I like it, and it's who I am. It defines my character and who I am. And I went for an e-commerce job, and they said you need to buy a wig because we need to see your hair. Oh. Why do you need to see my hair? This is me, and this is how I'm going to be. So if you would like me to model for you, then you kind of have to take me as I am. So yeah.
I just wanted to say, well, I have a look that is regarded as weird because my hair is grey and long, and you know, usually
beautiful.
Yes, I know, but it's a little bit different. You know, people would expect a grey model or an older model to have sort of shorter hair, and not this sort of wild mane that I have. But I wanted to go back to what we were talking about earlier because it's very important. We talked about perfection and beauty ideals, but we really must remember that ideals of beauty do change. They're not fixed. They do change over time, and they can be changed. So there isn't just one beauty ideal that we should sort of think is the one we should aspire to, because it's not the case. Just like you have different aesthetics, different ways of making art, you also have different ways of being beautiful.
But I'm not sure that designers are necessary, brands are necessarily. Some are. We can all name them. Yeah. But broadly speaking, they still have that image that we all know because we see it on the front of high fashion magazines every single day. Yeah. They still have that image as the image of perfection, don't they?
Yes and no. I think there's also this misconception that clothes, in order to be properly showcased, should be hanging on a particular body type. But in fact, when you look at models on the runway, you don't really see the details of the clothes, but you see people wearing clothes and walking by. If you really want to look at the details of the clothes they're wearing, you really need to be close up, and you know, you need to be able to feel the fabric and so on. So the clothes that we're wearing, they are really connected with our bodies. The bodies wear the clothes, and bodies are different.
Let me ask you, it's been seen as a kind of as progress that some designers at London Fashion Week are saying we're only now going to use models who are a size 6 and above. Size 6? I mean, that's tiny.
I mean, I'm still an 8. I mean, it is seen as progress, but one thing that seems to never change in the fashion industry is the height. I mean, you're always expected to be a certain height. When it comes to any modelling agency, if you're not at least 5'8", then
Or 5'9".
it's kind of like, why are you even considering
But that's
modelling?
changing.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
changing
5'7".
too.
I'm 5'7". I'm making my debut at Fashion Week, and I'm quite nervous, but it's gonna be loads of fun. But I just don't want to be the shortest girl there, which is weird because everyone says I'm tall.
Yeah. And that's tonight?
Yes, that's at 7.
Okay, any advice, Alex, to...
I'm sure you'll do extremely well.